And this is one of those moments. Please listen before July 5th, 2025. This is not a date picked at random. This is not another prediction wrapped in fear. This is a window, a divine window, a mercy moment from God. Between now and that day, there is something He is trying to do, something He is trying to say, not just to the world, but to you. Listen, before the next season opens, before the next door shuts, before the next shaking comes, there are moments in life that carry a different weight, moments where time itself feels sacred, as if something is shifting beneath the surface. This isn't ordinary. It's not just another day passing by. It's a divine interruption, a spiritual pause that carries a message too important to ignore. And in these moments, the voice of God doesn't just invite, it pleads. There is an urgency in the atmosphere, a call that stirs something deep inside, not to frighten, but to awaken, not to condemn, but to prepare. Because there are times when heaven leans in closer than usual and delivers a warning, not to create panic, but to extend mercy. This is one of those moments. When God speaks with urgency, it is because of love, a love so great that it refuses to stay silent while you walk toward danger, a love so fierce that it would rather disrupt your comfort than see you drift off course. The warning comes as a gift, a chance to pause, to evaluate, to return to what truly matters. It's the voice of a father who sees what's coming and wants his children ready. He is not speaking to the world as a crowd, but to the individual heart. He is speaking to you. This is the kind of moment where the choices you make will echo beyond the present. It's not just about avoiding harm, it's about stepping into alignment before something shifts. Time has a rhythm, and there are appointed seasons that carry more spiritual weight than others. When a date is marked, when a moment is highlighted, it means something on the other side of it will be different. Not necessarily worse or better, but undeniably changed. And God, in His mercy, gives space to prepare. That space is now. There's a call going out to silence the noise, to shut out the distractions, and to listen, to really listen, not just with ears, but with the heart, the kind of listening that leads to repentance, to change, to awakening. This is not a general message. It's specific, it's precise, because there are things in your life that need to be settled before the shift. There are doors you must close, patterns you must break, forgiveness you must give, and purpose you must embrace. All of it is part of what this moment is about. Heaven does not speak casually. When the voice of God comes with urgency, it is always an act of grace, a final call before a crossing, a warning before a wave, a moment where mercy reaches further than judgment ever could. And for those who hear, who respond, who realign, this is not the end, but the beginning of something greater. This is a divine reset, but only for those who listen while there is still time, while the window is still open. Because when heaven speaks with urgency, it's not to scare you, it's to save you. In a world filled with endless distractions, it's easy to miss the voice that matters most. The noise is constant. News, opinions, entertainment, the pressure to perform, the fear of falling behind, all of it fights for your attention, pulling your focus in every direction except upward. But there comes a moment when the soul can no longer be sustained by surface-level stimulation. There comes a time when external noise becomes unbearable, not because it grows louder, but because the spirit begins to crave something deeper. That craving is not random. It's the call to return. It's the whisper beneath the chaos saying, "Come back, come closer, be still." This isn't about religion or ritual. It's about relationship. It's about intimacy with the one who formed you. Too often people search for peace in places that only offer temporary relief. They chase purpose in things that quickly fade. And all the while there is a still sacred voice calling, not through the volume of the world, but through the quiet of the heart. That voice doesn't shout. It waits patiently. And in moments like these, when heaven presses close, it speaks with clarity. The invitation is simple. Return, let go of the noise, remove what distracts, come into the secret place. This moment is not about the headlines or the trends. It's about the soul, the condition of the heart. Because what's ahead will not be navigated by charisma or cleverness. It will require discernment. It will require spiritual strength. And that strength is not built in public. It's built in the quiet, in the stillness, where hearts are recalibrated and eyes are opened. When the world is loud, the soul grows tired. And if you don't pause to listen, to truly listen, you'll miss the voice that was meant to guide you through the storm. Everything God does begins with intimacy, and intimacy starts with attention. When your attention shifts away from the world and toward the Spirit, clarity begins to come. Old chains begin to fall, and the fog of confusion that once clouded your vision starts to lift. This is a call to cleanse the soul of what has clung to it, to break ties with compromise, to choose what is eternal over what is immediate, because the distractions are not just delaying your progress, they're dulling your discernment. This isn't about doing more. It's about being still long enough to remember who you are and whose you are. The call is personal. It's not for your platform, your audience, or your image. It's for your soul. And in this moment, before what's coming, you are being asked to return to the only place that can truly prepare you. Not to prove yourself, but to be renewed, to be restored, to be reminded that peace doesn't come from the absence of problems, but from the presence of the one who never leaves. Silence the noise, shut the doors, and step into the quiet where everything begins again. Time doesn't just move, it carries purpose. Every moment is part of a divine sequence, and there are windows in time where heaven is more directly involved in the affairs of earth. These windows are sacred. They are moments of alignment, invitation, and transformation. When one of these windows approaches, it's not about predicting events, but about preparing the heart. The date mentioned isn't meant to bring fear, but to serve as a marker, an indicator that something is about to shift, and God is giving you the grace to be ready for it. Before certain things unfold in the natural, they are first announced in the Spirit. This is one of those announcements. There is something coming that will require clarity, strength, and focus. You are being invited into that clarity now, not when everything changes, but before. The wisdom of preparation is that it gives you peace when the winds rise. It gives you footing when the ground shakes. And it gives you discernment when many around you are overwhelmed by confusion. God does not leave His people unprepared. He gives signs, stirrings, and moments where His presence becomes unusually near, not because He has changed, but because the time has. What's important now is not just waiting for a change, but aligning with what's already being shifted inside you. The stirring you feel is not anxiety. It's the Spirit drawing you into readiness. There are things you're meant to step into, but the weight of those things requires a new level of surrender. There are doors that will open, but only if you are positioned rightly. And there are assignments being prepared, but they require a heart that has been emptied of pride, fear, and distraction. This season is not about passive waiting, it's about active preparation. What you do now matters. The decisions you make in secret, the disciplines you choose to build, the relationships you choose to protect or release. All of it is part of divine alignment. July 5th is not the point, it is the threshold. What matters is how you walk toward that threshold. Will you come with baggage or with freedom? Will you arrive full of fear or full of faith? That is what this time is for, to decide what you will carry into the next chapter. There is mercy in knowing before the shift, mercy in being told, go out, get ready, mercy in the opportunity to adjust your course before the destination comes into view. Some delays you've experienced were not punishments. They were God's way of giving you more time to prepare. He's not trying to keep you from destiny. He's inviting you to step into it fully equipped. And that preparation starts now, not with panic, not with striving, but with humble realignment and deep listening. What you do between now and the threshold will determine how you walk through it. The door is coming, and grace is here now, so you'll be ready when it opens. When heaven speaks, it does so not to bring fear, but to bring mercy. Every warning from above is born out of love, an urgent plea for the heart to return, to awaken, to realign before it's too late. Mercy always comes before movement. It always makes a way before the way is tested. This moment is not about judgment, but about invitation, a divine opportunity to respond to the whisper before it becomes a storm. God does not take pleasure in catching people off guard. He desires that they walk in peace, fully prepared, fully surrendered, and fully in step with His timing. There are seasons when the voice of God grows louder, not because He's changed, but because the window of response is narrowing. In those times, what you choose to do with the invitation will shape how you experience the season ahead. This is one of those moments. The call is going out not to the strong, not to the successful, but to the willing, to those who are ready to pause and truly listen, to those who will let go of what's been pulling them in the wrong direction, to those who are tired of just surviving and are ready to start walking in divine purpose. The opportunity being extended now is not indefinite. It carries a sense of holy urgency. There is a reason heaven is marking this time. It's not just a warning about what's coming. It's a revelation of the grace that's being offered before it comes. It's about the mercy that reaches out before the test begins. Like a lighthouse before the storm, this word is meant to guide you to safety, not to paralyze you with fear. You are being called into a deeper place so that what's around you will not shake what's within you. This is the way of divine love. It speaks ahead of the moment. It prepares the heart before the need arises. And for those who respond, there is peace in the preparation. There is joy in the surrender. There is strength that comes not from control, but from trust. The world may look uncertain, but the invitation remains certain. Come near, lay it down, and be ready. This is not a threat. It is an act of grace. A final call to those who have ears to hear. A moment of mercy before the shift. If you're sensing the pull, don't delay. If you feel the nudge, don't ignore it. Every second matters, not because of panic, but because of purpose. Every act of obedience now is a seed being planted for what you will need later. And the God who calls you to listen is the same God who will sustain you in what's to come. He never speaks without reason, and He never warns without love. This is mercy speaking, loud, clear, and full of grace. Listen now, while the door is open. Because when He speaks before a moment, it's to ensure you're standing when it arrives. The conclusion of this speech is clear, sobering, and full of grace. This is a sacred moment in time, not to be dismissed or delayed. A divine voice is calling not to burden you, but to bless you through realignment. There is mercy in the message and purpose in the timing. You are being given a window to prepare, to repent, to return, and to refocus before something shifts. This is not about fear of what's coming. It's about faith in who's calling. The warning is an invitation. The urgency is rooted in love. What you do now, in this space between the call and the date, will shape how you walk into what comes next. Listen now, act now, surrender now, because God in His mercy is speaking clearly before the moment arrives, so you won't just survive what's ahead, but rise within it, steady, strong, and ready.